Oh, hi there. Great that you're still with us. Well, the good news is that you're in for a treat because Quebec was one of our favorite stops on our cross-Canada road trip. This week, we'll show you all around Quebec City, including the Plains of Abraham Museum and the charming streets of the Old Town. Now let's roll it!
If you're in town, then it's a good idea to get brushed up on your Canadian history. The Plains of Abraham is significant because it is the site of the battle where the British defeated the French in 1759 and set the history of Canada forever from then on. Walking through this museum will tell you all about those early battles. It has displays of uniforms, maps, artifacts, scale models, and period replicas. But what we enjoyed the most were the museum guides dressed up as historical characters, sharing with us their vast knowledge of Canadian history. Here we are learning about the weapons of those times. This is the tomahawk.
Yep, exactly.
So is this like a hammer?
It's just a hammer, but it can be also a small axe, can be in a wide variety of different shapes. But they are all the same weapon. Small weapon, close range combat, tomahawk. So since you're in the army, you are under contract. It's for a different amount of years, depending on the time and era in the armies. But you don't have the right to leave. Of course, if you are in the battlefield and you decide that, okay, no, it's not for me. You need to stay there. You cannot I need to go. I'm scared. Okay, no problem. Go away. No, you stay there and you fight. Because if you run away, this be death penalty.
These are set up by the French people, right?
French and British.
And British. So
Yeah.
Quebec, the French first came in here,
Yeah.
to Quebec.
Yeah.
And how many years were they here before the British come in?
Approximately 150 years.
So all we need to do is take our cartridge, tear it open with our teeth, put some black powder down the mechanism, then we can load the rest of the cartridge inside the barrel of the gun. If it
Easy,
sets
don't
off,
need.
it's very rare that it might happen, but if it does, it's going to go out flying. If your hand is like this, you don't have a hand anymore. If your hand is like this, you have 3 fingers left. In the army, there are 3 requirements you must have if you want to be a soldier. You must be at the very least 16 years old, have at the very least 4 teeth in your mouth, and 2 fingers on your right hand.
Why do you need 4 teeth?
2 up, 2 down on the same side to tear properly the cartridge.
Oh, who cares about eating?
After learning so much of the battles that defined our country, even before we called it Canada, we felt compelled to walk out to the place of where it actually happened. So it was here on these plains, on September 13, 1759, which is over 260 years ago, that the Battle of the Plains of Abraham took place. In the fall of that year, as the cold weather approached, 4,000 British soldiers succeeded in scaling these cliffs to battle on the plains. In a short 30 minutes, the French troops were defeated. This battle, also known as the Battle of Quebec, was a pivotal moment in the 7 Years' War because with the capture of Quebec, the British established a strong presence in New France, and eventually it led to not only British control of Canada, but also indirectly to the American Revolution and the creation of the United States. Today, the Plains of Abraham have been transformed to an urban park with a great playground for a variety of sports, along with exhibitions and cultural activities that take place here. After taking in the view from the top of the plains, we walk down towards the Parliament building. On the way, you will notice the Citadel of Quebec, which is an active military installation even today, and is the secondary official residence for both the Canadian monarch and the Governor-General of Canada. The Citadel contains the oldest military building in Canada and forms part of the fortifications of Quebec City. Here's a fun fact for you. Quebec is one of only 2 cities in North America that is still surrounded by fortifications. The other is in Campeche, Mexico. Close by to the Plains of Abraham is the Quebec Parliament building. We walked down for some photos before heading over to Old Quebec. Old Quebec is probably my favorite attraction in Quebec City. It is full of heritage with the narrow cobblestone streets and well-preserved buildings. Although both Old Quebec and Old Montreal are steeped in history, they have a very different feeling as you walk through them. Where Old Montreal is full of grey stone buildings, all very monotone, Old Quebec brings a quaint charm with its colorful structures. Old Quebec was actually designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985 because it's able to retain its colonial architecture for over 400 years. In fact, it's the most intact fortified town north of Mexico. Old Quebec itself is split into Upper Town and Lower Town, and you will definitely get a good workout just by walking around. For those that want to save the exercise though, there is a funicular, which is essentially a cable tram to take you up and down easier. Inside the town, you can spend your time wandering through Petit Champlain, one of the oldest shopping streets in North America, explore shops, cafes, and discover the many excellent restaurants in the area. A very popular tourist location is the postcard perfect Chateau Frontenac. It was built in 1893 by CP Railway and was expanded 3 times throughout the years. One thing that I would highly recommend is to take a ferry ride from the port of Old Quebec over to Levis, which is a town across the waters. If you time it right and get there just before the sun sets, you will be treated to a beautiful view of Old Quebec with Chateau Frontenac perched up high. We lucked out when we got to the other side because we found Quai Paquette, which is a harborfront park, right when a water and light show was happening. It was a great summer evening as we took in the show and danced the night away. It made for a perfect evening to a wonderful day of sightseeing.
you go pose, and then you do. That's it.
If you liked Old Town, then you have to check back next week when we go onto a deeper dive with our guided walking tour. We stay in Old Town, but we also visit some really good eateries, including a real nunnery that is still operating today. You do not want to miss it.